Happy New Moon's Eve. It's Moss 808, brought to you by The Esoteric Soul G, bringing you the astrological breakdown and correspondence. Now, this episode is going to be a 2-in-1 episode, being that the moon is currently in the later degrees, third decans Hydra constellation, as a matter of fact, next to its transition of the moon in Sagittarius. So I'm going to be, giving the 2-in-1 aspects, and this is a more even breakdown, as it shows you the energies when you're coming out of them and going into the newer energies. So you see the all-encompassing wisdom of Scorpio with the new vision and sight set for the moon conjuncting the sun in Sagittarius. So we have the moon, aspecting Venus in Scorpio. So these two are sharing the same detrimental area. So they are sharing a trauma bond. And these aspects, excuse me, are going to be the joint force that is, reacting and responding to the quincux of the sun in Sagittarius and Mars in Sagittarius. So we are reacting and responding with Venus and Scorpio. Still got a side video to make about that. But anyways, we are reacting to our deep motivations and passions of transformation, taking power control over an emotion that we have. We're going to, dragging our feet or trying to, be emotionally detached from our ways of compromising and relating with our vulnerabilities, or relating our control issues, or just putting these two love matters and appreciating certain things that are hid behind a closed door. So this could be turning the blind eye to a certain energy and things of that nature. So you could be turning the blind eye to a holier than thou mindset, that you are acting out a new philosophy or relating to new philosophies, but in a deep connective way due to past traumas, potentially generational curses, or superpowers that have yet to been unlocked due to karmic ties and things of that matter. So we have that. And then when the moon conjoins Sagittarius, this is going to be that that quincux still. So it's going to be shifting the score. It's going to be shifting from Sun Sagittarius, Mars and Sagittarius, and from it's even right now. Venus in Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio, Sun in Sagittarius, Mars in Sagittarius. So it's even right now, but it's going to be putting, it's going to be weighing our emotional frequency, how we are going with the mood. So the mood is going to be wanting to teach your experience on the blockage that you are currently experiencing due to detrimental planets, sharing this womb, sharing this trauma bond potentially because of Scorpio. So be mindful of that. You are going to take your relationships and add the philosophy of your relationships to the philosophy of the collective that you are projecting your light out onto, as far as the sun being our consciousness awareness about where you're passionate and where things might be, we're working on our character development, but our philosophical points of views are directed towards the collective, coming out of, still like getting closer to that direct square of the Neptunian energies and Pisces, that square energy, learning how to, shine that light from the internal to teach a version of yourself when you're looking at other people. That's a perfect example of seeing how the deep relationships relate to the philosophical points of views, and relating your internal delusion and making it a teaching process, so that while you're teaching, you are learning as well what works and what might not work, as far as applying said principles and virtues to certain concepts and ideas, as far as making the event happen. So then you're going to have the Scorpio, you're going to have the moon moving from that sextile to Capricorn to that quincux of Capricorn. So I like to say, as you have this opportunity to connect your deep, take your deep control issues and have a plan, or communicating a plan, or communicating something, like as far as going to A to B, nothing in the middle. You tell somebody, you want to trade this for something, and then boom, it is done, because you are using, you're taking your power of control and using it, because Capricorn is exalted in Mars. So this relationship there is what is going to be, have these things working out in that nature. So this is the opportunity for that, what I'm saying, your relationships, or your deep control over certain relationships is going to manifest in the practical, saying status for you to stand upon, for your esoteric mentality to stand upon, especially going into this new moon. So you're moving the fourth and fifth dimensional energies, into that space. So then once you reach that space, closer to that quincux energy, then it's keep using this allegory of borrowing too much from your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? If you're just right next to each other, chipping away, it's gonna be annoying. Could be some friction there. So you might as well do something small that can set you on the travel, Sagittarius, that will gain you a status from the networks and from the people, places, and things that you pass through, or the cultures and the philosophies and the teachings, and things of that nature. And then the moon could be squaring our emotions, conjoining our passions and our awareness. We're going to be emotionally connected to teaching from our relationships standpoint, and applying that to the consciousness awareness, or taking action as far as teaching, to teach about potentially your passions for your philosophical points of view, putting some something it might come across. If you're using the square, you might learn like not to go too far deep into something where it becomes a delusion, when you're off on your journey, because you've lost most of your following, because you weren't staying connected to the internal waters of the collective imagination as well, painting that picture internally and making it vast. And where your mind goes, your body goes. So you're paying the attention, then you're moving your body towards that passions and the points of views. And then we have Jupiter and Uranus close to going direct. So this is going to be the last square. So learning how, like, even if you don't have anything practical, gifts and shit to show from your relationships, about your previous experiences, nothing to show, or as far as your originality, want to overly protect that with the moon there. That's going to be a process of learning that you're going to learn and use right there with that square. And then when it goes into Sagittarius, then it's going to be that in conjunction. So you're going to move from the opposition to try to go for your opposite energies. And while you're there, through the transits moving, it's like the sun and the Mars in conjunction right there. But it's going to be our emotions, misaligning our emotions versus the experience. So trying to teach on an emotion that you are escaping into a form of teaching, because it's still, what I'm saying, it's not moving as fast as you want to. Your experiences and your travels, it's not moving as fast enough for your originality and the revolution, as far as moving the technological advancements, like the AI generation, ChatGPT, to keep up with your philosophy and your consciousness that you are adding to these things. And then the moon trying in Saturn right now, when it's going to degrees, what I'm saying, you're shining an emotional light on your relationships, and where you're going to begin to see boundaries forming based off of moving into new terrains of relationships, as far as bringing that down here, what you're imagining on a deeper level and concept, and as far as like making it light. And you can make your emotions light in your vulnerability with Venus and Scorpio by adding that structure and that discipline. And then once you have the moon in Sagittarius squaring that Saturn, and right there, that's where you're gonna be like, we're gonna see also with Sun and Mars awareness, where and how we are teaching towards our Mars conjunction, our actions and things of that nature, with your emotions squaring that energy, and then squaring that discipline and the borders and learning. And right now you got the moon and Venus and Scorpio in conjunct in the North Node, and Chiron in Aries. So you are like aligning yourself with the potential of the mistake. This is where that sextile between Scorpio and Virgo comes to play, because you might prejudge a situation, just moving with your own emotions, moving in that fix.